Donald Trump sexually abused magazine writer E. Jean Carroll in the 1990s, but didn't find the allegation she made that he raped her.
That's right. And yet he has had to pay her $5 million in damages. Because the jury concluded that calling the accusations a hoax and a lie severely harmed her reputation. But if they've concluded that he's not guilty of what she accused him of, doesn't that make her a liar?
Extraordinary.
Well,
joining us for more analysis is the chairman of Republican Overseas UK. You know him, Greg Swenson, who's with us now. Greg, it is an extraordinary thing, isn't it? She accused him of rape. The jury didn't agree with that. They decided he'd sexually assaulted her, but they paid her more damages for defamation than for the sexual assault. It's a real hodgepodge.
Yeah, it's confusing, and I think that nobody's really going to be able to know, who's telling the truth here, who's telling the whole truth. And I think this looks, again, like, more weaponization of the justice system. I'm not suggesting that she's lying. I mean, I don't know that, but this is just one of many cases that have been filed going back 7 or 8 years now. Another case that occurred 17 years ago. And then she was really pushed by a handful of real Trump haters to proceed with this. And, good for her. She won if she's telling the truth. But I'm just not sure. And it looks like another case of another political assault on the former president.
Who would these Trump haters be, Greg?
Well, it was surely Kellyanne Conway's husband, George Conway, kind of led the charge here, and it was financed by the founder, Reid Hoffman. He financed the case. He's the founder of LinkedIn, another real Trump hater. And so, again, it doesn't mean he's telling the truth or not telling the truth, but it's pretty clear that, there's been a 7-year effort, 8-year effort at getting Trump. And again, without knowing whether it has merit or not, clearly the Alvin Bragg indictment did not have legal merit to it, but they proceeded anyway. But it looks like the Democrats and the media really want to help Trump win the nomination, because this case will actually boost his numbers. And that's, clearly the raid on Mar-a-Lago, as well as the Alvin Bragg indictment, really helped his cause. And you could see it in the poll numbers. I'm not saying they're not suggesting that will last right through the primaries, but, it's definitely a campaign on the left to make President Trump the nominee.
Just to be clear, so Kellyanne Conway, Greg, you say she was partly behind this. She's the woman who used that phrase, there are alternative facts, because she used to work for President Trump.
Right. Yeah, I'm sorry, Bev. No, I meant her husband, or actually now ex-husband, was very much a Trump opponent. It's kind of a funny marriage. So it wasn't Kellyanne Conway that's behind it. It's George Conway, who's really behind and really pressured the plaintiff to file. And so, this could backfire on the Democrats. Right now, they want Trump to be the nominee because they think he's the easiest to beat and perhaps the only one that Biden could beat in the general election. But that could backfire on them in many ways. One is he could possibly win, which would really be a massive backfire on the left. But also, it doesn't mean he'll win the nomination. Someone else could win the nomination. It's still way early. Could be Ron DeSantis, could be Glenn Youngkin, could be Nikki Haley. And any of those people would beat Biden in the general election. So this could really, it's really a gamble on the Democrats and the media.
It's a big week for the immigration story here in the UK this week, Greg. But it's arguably even bigger in the US. Title 42 expires tomorrow. Just explain to people what this means. I can't believe there's not more of the British global media really talking about this. It's huge.
It's really enormous. And, the first travesty is that the so-called COVID emergency is only officially ending tomorrow. That's the first absurd point to make here, that, until tomorrow, a UK citizen without a vaccination could not enter the United States.